that the National Assembly, comprising of the Senate and the House of Representatives, has unilaterally approved the state of emergency as declared by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Rivers State. Listen to the proceedings and share your thoughts on what played out at the Senate between Seraki Dixon and Godswill Akpabio. Senator Seraki Dixon, displeased with the agreement and the approval, staged a walkout from the Senate over what he called unconstitutional declaration of state of emergency in Rivers State.
Page 1492. Distinguished Senator Ngbigi.
Thank you, Mr. President. I stand here to move that the vote on proceeding for Wednesday, 19th March.
Lagos West. I rise to support the motion heavily moved by Senator Ngbigi that the proceedings of yesterday.
Distinguished Senator Godswill Akpabio, GCON. President of the Senate, National Assembly Complex, Distinguished President of the Senate, Gazette of State of Emergency Proclamation 2025, Rivers State. In compliance with the provisions of Section 305, subsection 2, in compliance with the provisions of Section 305, subsection 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, I hereby forward for the consideration of the Senate copies of the official gazettes of the State of Emergency Proclamation 2025. The main features of the proclamation are as follows: a declaration of a state of emergency in one state of the Federation, namely Rivers State, the suspension from office of the governor, his deputy, and all members of the State House of Assembly, and appointment of Vice Admiral Iboreche Ibas, retired, as administrator to administer the state subject to any instructions or regulations as may from time to time be issued by me. While I look forward to the expeditious consideration of the Senate, please accept, distinguished Senate President, the assurances of my highest consideration. Yours sincerely, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President, Commander-in-Chief, Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. This letter is committed to the Committee of the entire Senate for immediate consideration.
Mr. President, rise first to move that pursuant to Order 1B of our rules, Mr. President, that we reorder the agenda on the order paper to enable us take for the first order of the day, which is my motion pursuant to the proclamation of state of emergency in Rivers State, in respect of which Mr. President just read the correspondence from Mr. President stating the proclamation. I so move, Mr. President.
I second the motion moved by the leader of the Senate that order paper for today to take the first order of the day. I so second.
It has been moved and seconded that we reorder the items on our order paper to take
Point of order, Mr. President.
To take the
Mr. President, there's a point of order. We need to order ourselves appropriately.
Distinguished colleagues.
Yes.
Distinguished colleagues. A motion has been moved and seconded, and it behooves on the presiding officer to put the question. And after that, anybody who wants to move a point of order can do so. But in the meantime, can I put the question? Those in support that we reorder our other papers, say aye.
Aye.
Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader of the Senate.
Point of order. We can be sure of our procedure. Just a point of order. It's not. It doesn't stop your. Doesn't stop the motion.
Distinguished Senator Seriake Dixon.
Yes.
I watch you on television.
Mr. President, I have
And
a
you
point
pointed
of order
out,
for which you have recognized me.
Listen to me now.
Yes.
Let's not argue. If we argue, it won't be good for any of us. We are all distinguished people. You are a former governor, I'm a former governor. Let us, please, off the mic, sit down. Please be seated. I watched you on television, and you said no matter what the Senate does, the Senate will never go with you. The Senate will not go with you. You said no matter what this Senate does, the Senate will not have your vote on anything the Senate does. That's what you said on television. I don't know, but I'm saying that if you have already made up your mind to go and talk on television when the Senate has not even considered any issue, I want to let you know.
To me, please.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm only saying, please allow me to preside. Allow me to preside.
Make my point for which.
Stand up and make a point.
Thank you, Mr. President. Please, you know, we must have mutual respect for all of our colleagues, okay? And I do have regard for you, particularly as our presiding officer.
I appreciate
and I think that should be reciprocal. Now, the point of order, Mr. President, Henry Seriake Dixon, Bayelsa West. The point of order I rose to address is to draw the attention of the presiding officer and our colleagues to the specific provisions of our rules. Each one of us is guided by two documents: the Constitution of the Federal Republic, upon which we were sworn, and the rules that govern our proceedings. The proclamation has been read to us, and I wanted to draw your attention, Mr. President, respectfully, and the attention of all our colleagues, to the specific provisions of our rules. Order 135. The framers of this are very exhaustive. Once you say state of emergency declaration, there is a procedure.
Can you read 135?
Let me read it. Say, look, 133. When the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, by instrument published in the Gazette of the Government of the Federation, issues a proclamation of a state of emergency in the Federation or of any part thereof, he shall immediately after the publication, A, B, C, D. Now, since you have read it, now let me go to 135. The President shall, in a closed session, brief the Senate on the circumstances of the proclamation of a state of emergency.
Your point of order is upheld.
Thank you. So let's go to the closed session.
Please, he was about to move the motion for a closed session.
Thank you, sir.
In line with our rules. The rule is embedded in the heart of the Senate leader. He was about to move that motion for us to go to closed session.
Yes.
When you raise it, but I'm happy that you are reading your rules. So your point of order is happily upheld. Yes, Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, I really wish distinguished Senator Seriake Dixon had allowed me, to, follow. And in the first instance, I came under Order 1B of our rules, which gives us power to regulate our procedure. And so the first task was for me to let our colleagues know that we're going to be changing the items as arranged on the order paper.
On the order paper.
Yes, sir. So the next thing, of course, was for me
Senator,
to
did you hear that? He said that he came under Order 1B.
Yes.
To request the Senate to grant him approval to reorder the items on the order paper. And then thereafter, he was about to proceed to the next stage, which was to move a motion for us to go into a closed session.
Pursuant to Order 135 of our rules.
Too much, you can never, it's better to err on the part of surplusage. That's why I'm happy that you also read your rules.
Again, let me say I'm happy that most distinguished Senator Seriake Dixon is very familiar, with the rules. And, like every one of us, that is the only way we can have, peace, and we can proceed diligently as a Senate. So, having said that, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, let me say that I move, pursuant to Order 135 of our rules, that the Senate now goes into a closed session as, prelude to the motion that I have on the other paper. Thank you, sir.
That the Senate goes into closed session to consider issues on the other paper. I so second.
Yes, distinguished colleagues, those in support that we go into closed session to enable us comply with our rules, circulating the Gazette, and at the same time discussing matters of urgent national importance, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, deliberated on matters relevant to the workings of the Senate, in particular, the proclamation of the state of emergency by Mr. President, and matters connected with the National Assembly in general. Hence, the Senate in a closed session received briefing from the President of the Senate on the circumstances of the proclamation of a state of emergency declared by Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief, Asue Ighodalo Tinubu, GCFR, President, Commander-in-Chief, Federal Republic of Nigeria, on the state of affairs in Rivers State. And the Senate resolved as follows. 1. The Senate invokes the powers conferred on it by Section 305, subsection 2 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, and approve the proclamation of state of emergency declared by Mr. President in Rivers State of Nigeria. The Senate further directs that the declaration of the state of emergency stated in the proclamation document and the mandate of Mr. President to review, and hereby mandates the President to review and even to terminate the state of emergency at any given time, but not later than 6 months. The Senate further resolved that Section 11, subsection 4 be invoked, providing the National Assembly the authority to set up a joint ad hoc committee of both chambers to oversight the administration of Rivers State henceforth. The Senate further resolves that a committee of eminent Nigerians be set up to reconcile the warring groups within the government of Rivers State within the period of the state of emergency in Rivers State. The Senate further resolved that a committee to reconcile the warring factions in Rivers State should consist of eminent Nigerians. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the closed session? Yes. The Senate hereby approves the proclamation of the state of emergency 2025 declared by Mr. President in Rivers State of Nigeria as amended pursuant to Section 60, subsection, pursuant to Section 60 of the Constitution, Section 305, subsection 2, and pursuant to our rules, Rules 1, Sub B of the Standing Orders of the Senate, and also pursuant to Rules 134, 135, and 136 of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Those in support of the declaration of the state of emergency in Rivers State say aye. And those against say nay. The ayes have it in unanimity. For your cooperation and patriotic zeal, as enunciated, as expressed, as elucidated, and as displayed on the floor of the Senate today. It is our hope that this declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State by Mr. President will bring peace and ensure speedy resolution of all the issues that led to the impasse. And I hope that all will abide by this and use this window of opportunity within the next 6 months to resolve all issues so that we can have peace and tranquility with good governance in Rivers State of Nigeria. I so thank my colleagues. Leader of the Senate.
Adjourns temporarily and come back in 30 minutes for us to adopt the votes and proceedings. Adjourn for 30 minutes to reconvene.
Mr. President.
Distinguished colleagues, the motion has been moved and seconded that the proceedings, the Senate proceedings 1 of Thursday, 20th day of March 2025 be approved. Those in support of this approval say aye, and those against say nay. The ayes have it. Let me thank all distinguished senators once again for their patriotism and their zeal to save Nigeria, and pray that the votes and proceedings and the content therein will bring lasting peace to Rivers State, and urge that all warring factions should sheath their swords and get ready to sit on a round table to bring peace to Rivers State in order to ensure that democracy continues to thrive. And also, we hope that all those who constitute the committee to oversight and oversee the activities of the administrator within the period of the emergency rule will do their best to ensure that prudence, accountability, and good governance reign in the government and before the eyes of the good people of Rivers State of Nigeria. I thank you all. Leader of the Senate.
25th. Tuesday, the 25th of March, 2025 at 11 a.m. I so move, Mr. President.
Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Accordingly, the Senate is hereby adjourned to Tuesday, the 25th day of March, 2025.
Level don't change. Level don't change. Level don't change. Level don't move. See this guy is away from me, so you know about this. You don't follow that. You don't follow that.